Browns beat reporter Daryl Ruiter his thoughts on if the Browns defense can maintain its excellence with Jim Schwartz not being their defensive coordinator.
Well, I don't think you can assume anything. Year one with Schwartz as defensive coordinator, they had the number one ranked overall defense. The second year, there was a little bit of a step back, and then they bounced back this past season. So I think it's just natural to expect that there will be some slippage. Now, do I think that the defense is going to completely fall apart? No, I don't. But I don't know that I expect them to play at the level that they played these last 3 years without Schwartz. I think just there's the natural ebb and flow from year to year.
Well, let's welcome in Jake Burns from BrownsFilmBreakdown.com. Jake, that's probably a fair and accurate point. Two things. What do you think? How do the Browns continue to be the dominant defense they were, or as dominant as they were? And who's the best option to replace Jim Schwartz in your mind?
That's it's a deep question that they're trying to solve. Obviously, I mean, there's plenty of, I think, people that if you look at internally, I think Jason Tarver, the linebackers coach, has had really good results with the guys that he's coached in his time in Cleveland. He has some experience as a coordinator, so I wouldn't be surprised if they took him very seriously. Ephraim Banda, who's done a nice job in the secondary for this team, had his own set of DC interviews in different places this offseason, Dallas, New York. He knows the system well. He's an up-and-coming coach that they probably don't want to see go. So there's probably some real consideration. Would he do something similar to what Jim Schwartz is doing, and would they be overpassing him when other teams have shown some interest, you know what I mean, around the league, interviewing him for that same defensive coordinator role? So the internal options, I think I would be fine with based on trying to keep the cohesion on that side of the ball that's been referenced. But the one external candidate that wouldn't, I think, push too far away from the apple cart is Corey Unlin, who worked with Jim as his secondary coach in Philly for 4 years. He's been around what they were trying to do in Philly, and I think if they did not fire Doug Peterson, he was going to get a chance to take over that defense in Philly, and then has been with San Francisco and D'Amico Ryans for a year in 2020, and then followed D'Amico to Houston, where he took over that defense in the secondary as well. He's not perfect. I mean, I certainly think that there's some things he would have liked to have done better in some stops, but he knows Schwartz's system well. He's done a nice job with D'Amico Ryans, who looks at defense a little bit different. If you look at their coverage data, they play some different coverage stuff than what the Browns do. They play some man, but they don't play as much man. They play more quarters. They play more cover three. So if the Browns were looking, and what I do find intriguing is of every name other than Corey or Chris Bullard, every name has been a secondary coordinator or a pass game coordinator. And that probably tells you that they feel good about Jacques Césaire up front. They feel good about Tarver at the second level. They feel like they need to think about secondary play a little bit differently, adding in some more variance to what they're doing coverage-wise. And I think you can find a good melting spot between the who's here and who's not here, who has some outside perspective. That's where I'm really interested in what Unlin could bring. If they took a swing outside the system and wanted to try to something really different, Jonathan Cooley in Carolina, who's their secondary pass game coordinator, is a young up and coming coach, actually a John Carroll grad, who's got some really nice words said about him by Carolina players. He's got some almost Grant Udinsky-like comments from people that have worked with him about his ability to get the job done, make complicated things less difficult, all the stuff you would want to hear. But that is somebody who has never worked with Jim, so it'd be a little bit outside of the box. So, yeah, I mean, listen, even Aubrey Puslin has some stuff that you would like about him, who's the Rams pass game coordinator's secondary coach too. So, good names. But I think if they try to keep what we, take Todd at his word, he's probably going to try to keep this as close to seamless as to what they've done in the past. And I think it's probably one of the two internal guys. And then if they're looking outside, Unlin just makes the most sense in terms of keeping some symmetry in place.